Today we're going to talk about evaluating income sources, and one of the best ways to meet client objections is to anticipate them, of course, and fold those potential deal killers into your fact-finding process, which we just talked about in the last segment. So remember, you can only provide a solution if you're addressing or exposing a serious problem. So you got to figure out what those problems are. We already know that cash flow and income needs are a very real problem that most Americans are just flat out ignoring. I know I'm invited to participate in a disability or illness related GoFundMe for a friend of a friend at least once a month. So here is an outline of your client's most likely potential income sources as organized into 4 different categories. We've got self-funding, state welfare, government benefits, employee benefits, and individual insurance. Within that self-funding tranche, your clients may be able to use any of the following strategies to shore up their income needs. Sale of a business, sale of a home, of course, borrowing from your investment funds, which is just going to take from retirement needs down the road. You're also looking at perhaps a legal settlement, which is highly unlikely in the event of disability. Some cases it works, but it's not always somebody else's fault when you contract a chronic illness. And there's also, as I mentioned before, GoFundMe and things like that. So that's called self-insuring. I mean, you're finding the money from somewhere where you've got some equity or some capital or some sort of asset. It could be, your relationships that you use on Facebook. That's your asset. So you're going to go start a GoFundMe, which are notoriously, underperforming. Government benefits, however, are definitely a lot more robust, but they still have their limitations. And especially when it comes to state disability programs, it's completely state by state. But the most common ones that we see are Social Security disability, which is a federal benefit, but that can take months or even a year in many cases, which is also even going to pay an unlivable wage for a lot of people, especially here in the Bay Area or in California. And then here again in California, we've got state disability, which caps at around $60,000 a year. So it's very suitable for a lot of people. But what a lot of folks are ignoring is that it's going to end after just 12 months. So you get what's that, like $1,200 a week for the 52 weeks of the year, and then you're done. There's nothing left. So it helps to have a long-term plan that will wrap around that or supplement that. If you're a higher income earner, that obviously that $1,200 a week isn't going to get you too far. Employee benefits are usually worth their weight because they're typically free for employees but still carry heavy limitations. Again, are you sensing a theme here? Business owners must be especially vigilant about doing their due diligence because you've got workers' comp, worksite benefits, group LTD, even executive DI may all fall short of expectations. And we're really going to drill down on the group LTD, but just know that workers' comp, it's designed to pay for disability that occurs on the job. So unless you're swinging a hammer or up on a roof, there's really not a huge likelihood that the clients that you're working with are going to experience a workers' comp claim, unless there's some other form of negligence, in which case legal settlement could work too. But you've really got to focus on the fact that the vast majority, 90% of disabilities, are going to be an illness, and that almost 100% of those are going to be contracted outside the workplace. So that's a huge point to recall. Worksite benefits are just kind of patchwork. You're buying a cancer policy here and a heart attack and stroke policy there, maybe an accident policy that's going to pay you $2,000 if you have a hospital stay or something like that. I mean, it's piecemeal. And so we're talking about a comprehensive benefit structure that's going to come in to save the day, and that's really what disability income is. So finally, perfect segue into the individual insurance. It's definitely a lot harder to access and obviously very confusing to a lot of people. That's why we're doing this here today, to try to break it down a little bit and divvy it up. So it's worthwhile for sure to address the deficiencies of relying on life insurance and some of the chronic illness riders that are incorporated in these new age policies. It's not disability insurance, again, not comprehensive, quite piecemeal. Critical illness, same thing, usually paying a lump sum, not cash over time. Annuities, of course, are, if you're under the age of 65, that's not a good option for you. and long-term care is only going to pay for services. And then, of course, you've got the DI, which is going to just pay an indemnity, a check. It's going to send a check to the client every month that they are continuing to remain disabled, which could be years. So, anyway, we could write a whole book on this subject alone. Oh, what's that? I already did? Right, okay, well then go ahead and follow the link on your screen to check out our Disability Survival Kit for more detailed info. It's a super easy read filled with practical examples and every millennial's favorite, infographics all over the place. It's like I just threw up infographics for you. So all these concepts are addressed with accompanying infographic that can really help illustrate what's going on with these other options. So I hope that helps. Enjoy. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.